Here's part two, of which I call More Trucking News from March 1960 with ads and photos. I think you'll find this very interesting and informative. Great Lakes Express was building a 60-door terminal in Detroit, Michigan on a 14-acre site. This is a picture of the terminal. Navajo Freight Lines opened a new Kansas City terminal. It will be a busy facility with 40 trucks in and out each day, with over 295 employees just at that terminal alone. Strickland Transportation Company of Dallas, Texas, announced they were buying 38 more international tractors after buying 182 of the same international tractors in 1959. Arrow Mayflower Transit Company, the moving company, announced it will buy 138 new trailers to its fleet. Both 35-foot single axle and 40-foot tandem axle units will be among them. In the past several monthly news, viewers, I've talked about Continental Transportation Lines Incorporated. Here's more. C.E. Rose, the district sales manager of the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania terminal, has been promoted to sales manager of the two subsidiaries I've mentioned earlier. They are Philadelphia Pittsburgh Carriers and Motor Age Transit Lines. Mr. Rose started with Continental way back in 1934. Red Ball Motor Freight of Dallas, Texas, has asked the ICC for authority to acquire Coach Motor Lines of Shreveport, Louisiana, by buying all their stock for $2.5 million. Red Ball said such a combined operation would eliminate the interchange of freight and transfer of bill of ladings now necessary at Shreveport, Louisiana, where the two carriers' routes meet. Speaking of mergers, the Interstate Commerce Commission approved Consolidated Copper State Lines to purchase the operating rights of property of two large carriers in the Southwest. The two companies involved were Sunset Motor Lines of San Angelo, Texas, and Alabama Freight Lines of Phoenix, Arizona. With this approval, Consolidated became the parent of Alabama, Valley Motor Lines, Valley Express, and Sunset. Something new I want to tell you about. This is about deviation routes and how deviation routes came into being. In the early days of certificates of authority granted by the Interstate Commerce Commission, those carriers seeking regular route authority had to use specified routes and only those routes between the different points of service that they handled. As the interstate highway system was developed in the late 50s into the 60s, these deviation routes were close to the authorized routes that the ICC granted. For instance, in Wisconsin, US 12 between Hudson and Eau Claire. US 12 went through several cities and towns which the carriers had to use. If they sought a deviation route using Interstate Highway 94, they could bypass those cities and towns for their convenience and to speed along their routes. Like, for instance, deviation route issued to Stefke Freight, Merchants Motor Freight, Briggs Transportation, Moulin Brothers Trucking Company, and Central Wisconsin Motor Transport. They all used Highway 12, and they all went to the ICC to seek a deviation route using Interstate Highway 94. The Interstate Commerce Commission granted it, and this is the way it was written into their motor carrier docket. General commodities over a deviation route as follows: from Hudson, Wisconsin over Interstate Highway 94 to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and return for operating convenience only, serving no intermediate points. All the carriers were doing it, and these 5 carriers using the same deviation route, using the same routes, they all got the new way to traverse that part of Wisconsin for saving fuel and saving time. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep the monthly news coming, and I'll introduce new things to you as I go along, just like I did tonight with deviation routes. Leave a comment, let me know how you liked it, and subscribe if you're not one, and we'll talk to you next time.